What is the creepiest, made your hair stand up on end story that a child has said? When my daughter was 10 or 11, she asked me one morning why I had been standing in her room all night, thinking she had seen me peek in on her before I went to bed. I told her I do that every night. She looked confused for a minute and then said no, that I had been in her room the entire night. She proceeded to explain that she had woken up several times the night before and kept seeing me just standing in the corner staring at her. Needless to say, I had not been in her room all night. I assume it was a dream, but it unnerved me still. My son talked about this gentleman constantly. He said they were always together and he had been in his room late at night. He had a monitor in his room, so we knew it wasn't real. We spoke to his teacher, who had no clue who the guy was, and said from her knowledge he didn't exist. I did some googling on the person's name and didn't hit me too much, until I found a news story from the 60s or 70s about a child killer who shared the same name. So at my wife's childhood house, they had a theater room upstairs, basically a second TV room that no one ever really went into or used. It was kind of a darker room and it had this hidden cabinet door or panel that you would push and it led to some stairs going to the attic. This room gave off general creepy vibe overall. Anyway, when my nephew was about 5, there were a handful of us in the house. I think we were there to get together for dinner or something. So we finished eating, we're watching some TV and shooting the crap, and then we realize my nephew is nowhere to be seen. So we start calling out for him, then we start frantically looking around the house, basically freaking the F out that he ran off. There's like 9 people now running to every part of the house and shouting around looking for him. I run outside to the street, to the garage, and go into the effing theater room. Nothing. The skid straight disappeared, so we're 2 seconds from calling the cops. I am standing in the hall, a room adjacent to the theater room. This little bastard walks out with a stone-cold look on his face, in what seriously seemed like no emotion in his eyes. It was like he had been there in a different dimension the last 20 minutes. So the first thing I say is, "Where were you? Why didn't you answer when we were calling you?" This kid looks me straight in the eye and says some stuff I can't forget. "I was just playing with Andy there." He points to the ceiling. "Andy showed me the stairs and told me to be quiet because you guys were playing hide and seek." Then I thought mommy would be mad, so I told him I had to go. What the F? There is no way he could have known about those stairs leading to the attic, let alone push that panel open to get in there, and his mom said he didn't know anyone named Andy. Ever since then, I have avoided that room and especially the attic. F that noise.